everybody.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening
To you. Welcome to episode 12. How do you say 12 in all the languages you know?
Dues.
Yes.
Sup ye. That's Cantonese. Check it, y'all.
Check it, y'all. Look at our skills. Zwolf in German.
I don't know. I forgot all of my numbers, even in English.
So this podcast is not about being multilingual. Welcome to
What the Fact?
In only one language.
Brought to you in one
Hopefully you
language.
speak that language. If not, good job listening.
We're impressed.
So sorry.
Someone's like, there's Spanish on this? Let's listen right away. And then they get really depressed by 2 minutes in.
Yeah, we're still speaking in multiple languages, but really no real language.
Yeah. So what's up with you guys? We haven't done a catch up with how we're all doing. Cause,
True.
man, I think since we last had a recording, so before the Halloween episode, like I've been to Nebraska recently, which is my home state. Saw some cousins, saw some friends. They they asked me kindly to have a shout out for them. So hello, my Nebraska cousins.
Aw.
Oh, hey there, friends.
Yeah, and I told them there's a chance that we may go visit Nebraska next year. And they said, we will cook for you.
What does that mean? My expectations are very high.
What do you expect from a Nebraska meal?
A lot of
Barbecue.
meat and... What?
Oh, what?
Barbecue.
Oh, I was going to say a lot of meat and potatoes.
I thought you said the fajita at first, and I was like, I think you have the wrong idea of Nebraska.
Sorry, I can't even look at you right now because, so for those, you can't see it, but Patricia showed us 2 different eyebrow mascaras, and one of them is so intense,
It's
I
a
can't
clown.
even look at the other half of her face.
It's ridiculous. I forgot that I have different eyebrows right now.
We'll remind you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
What was each of their names? One of them is way more aggressive than the other one.
They're the same brand, but there are different ways of applying it to your face. One is just like glob on stuff on your face. It's like
It's
this
called
caterpillar.
glob.
But like not just a caterpillar, but like a tattoo of a caterpillar on your face. The other one looks a little bit better, but we'd been drinking a little bit and I failed to put it correctly on my face. I have like 3 lines across my eye.
So for those of you don't know, eyebrow mascara helps to accentuate and fill out your eyebrow. But
Yeah.
I did have the heart to tell you, but you have an extra line above one
I
of your
have 3 lines. I have 3 lines going across my eyebrow on my
You
left
have,
eye.
like, multiple eyebrows under the subtle one, and the thick one's like, I'm coming at you, subtle brows.
It's
The
true.
emphasis is really there for us.
Yeah, like Steph, if her bold brow were to say something, what would it say to you right now?
Oh, I feel like it'd be like swimming through dollar, like coins, like a Scrooge McDuck situation.
But it's so strong I can push its way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other one is like, you know what? I'm coming home from my party last night.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I'm coming home like shame walk, and that's why I have 3 eyebrows instead of 1.
Which is still one of the best Halloween costumes, in my opinion.
Her eyebrows?
No, the like morning after, but the night of, where you just put on your makeup and you just smear your face.
I love it.
As my face looks kind of right now.
Yeah.
Fair. So I was in Nebraska. I went early in October for my dad's birthday, but it snowed while I was there. And I have to tell you, one thing I hate in life more than anything else is probably snow.
Why?
Snow and snakes.
Why do you hate
I
snow?
hate
Snow.
snakes. So,
Snow's so
I should not
beautiful.
introduce you to snow snakes.
What? That does not exist.
Sci-fi original.
TM.
Don't share your secret ideas. You
Damn
know what
it.
happened
If
to
this shows
Sharknado.
up- If this shows up in a month, y'all know we've been bugged.
Yeah. What would the premise of Snow Snake be?
It's skiers and snakes come out and get them when they're skiing or snowboarding, and then they're trying to get away in their ski lifts, but snakes can do wild things.
They trip 'em up.
Is it snowing snakes though? Do you know?
No,
what I
it's
mean?
not snowing snakes. They're under the snow.
So is there like a kraken of the snakes underneath the snacking?
Snake.
I mean, I guess. Is it like a Tremor situation, but with snow?
I mean, you're the producer. You're the writer.
To me, they're underground. Like, not under, they're just under the snow. Like, they live in the snow. They're not coming from the skies because they're too heavy for that.
So
Like, meteorology, like, would state that would not work. That's too
yes,
dense.
and this is all about science.
This is about science.
Unless-
Fuck yourself. They have to be already in the ground and only thriving through snow.
do they eat the skiers? Is that the
No,
premise?
they trip them up first.
They
Because
trip
the
them up.
skiers are like just going along in these moguls, and you're like, oh, I got this, I got
Well,
this.
they're smart enough to know how to trip you.
So they're basically like
Or they're
Anaconda.
like, or like they're already just kind of in the trees, and just when you come close enough, but you've
Yeah.
known to avoid the trees,
My
they
anaconda
still
don't
shoot
want
out.
sun because it'll melt the snow a ton.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're welcome.
that's pretty good.
That's not bad. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Check on that.
If we had a blog, I can provide you my like top 10 snow horror movies.
That you made up?
What's your
No.
top snow horror movie?
Red Snow, which is Nazi zombies.
What?
Nazi zombies?
Yeah.
That's like a video
Why do you
game. What
look
was
at
that
me
video
like
game?
that's so normal? She's like, yeah, they're
No,
just zombies.
There's a video game that centers around that, like Wolfenstein, I think it's called, but it's about Nazi zombies.
Yeah,
a
they're like
thing.
in the Alps or something, somewhere in like the northern, like Sweden, Norway countries.
Oh, nice.
And it's snowing,
Oh,
and then
pleasant.
they
Tell
just
us
like
more.
resurrect, but they're Nazis in the snow, and they're dead, and it's red, and it's like a dead red snow zombie Nazi situation.
So I feel like there are movie producers or writers who have like hats or buckets full of like ideas. There's like zombies in one of them. Another one is like a theme of people throughout time, and like Nazis could have come from that one. Another one
Yeah.
is a setting, and they just go through and they're like pull one from each bucket, and they come up with like Nazi zombies and snow.
Pretty much.
I think that they're just real high. They're like, dude.
There's another one that I can't fully remember. It's not Frozen because that's the musical, but there's one about people who get stuck in a ski lift, and then it like closes and everybody's gone. They're like, fuck, we're still in the ski lift. And then there's like wolves on the ground.
Wolves?
And then like somehow they like try to like come out of it, and then they break something and you can't. It's like, do you stay up there and freeze, or do you try to attempt to escape the wolves with broken limbs?
How
Holy
high off the
cow.
ground are you?
They're in the ski lift.
Yeah, but sometimes you're over like powdery snow. But you're real high.
But you're still encountering wolves.
There was an episode of Taxi, like a TV show from a long time ago. I watched on Nick at Night when I was a kid. And the only way that they could stay warm in a taxi together was to get naked and rub their bodies together and have sex.
Oh,
Why?
so
I
was
don't
gonna
think
say-
sex is part of it.
Yeah, hypothermia. They say skin to skin contact is the best for hypothermia.
But not sex.
But why
Although-
not sex?
Quick question. In science class in 6th grade, did you guys ever watch the show Voyage of the Mimi?
Of the memeing?
Voyage of the Mimi or something. Yeah.
Meme?
Mimi.
Like a meme?
No, like Mimi.
Oh, no. Tell us about
Is
it.
this
would
like
watch
the
this.
origin of the Babadook?
No. However, these people would always go on adventures, and we'd watch it on occasion in science class, which I'm like, I think about that now, and I'm like, did my science teacher just punk us into watching some shitty ass romance
It's
novel
It
video?
was just a Korean soap opera.
It's knockoff
which
Mrs.
is just
Frizzle.
incredible.
I love Korean soap
I mean,
operas.
who doesn't?
I've never watched one.
Oh my gosh, they're so dramatic.
Why?
They're so ridiculous. There's so much
beautiful.
emotion displayed in them that there's like you can understand it because there aren't many words spoken. It's mainly just like I saw one when I was in Japan a few weeks ago, and there's this lady doing the laundry and she's just sobbing. She's like crying into her clothing that she's folding, and all of a sudden this kid comes in. The kid is not a kid, it's an adult. But it's acting as a kid, and she's like hugging the kid, and they're all crying together. And that's as much as I watched.
Is it like Downton Abbey where the idea of what's unacceptable is like very minute thing? So it's like, they didn't say you're welcome. Oh, the family is excommunicated. Like, is it like that?
No, it's like actually extreme.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to know my favorite horror movie that takes place in snow? The Shining.
I've never watched that. It scares me
Here's
too much.
Johnny.
You know they're coming out with a sequel to The Shining. Dr. Sleep.
Well, no, but it's actually Stephen King like wrote the book.
Yeah.
So
And it's the
that's
kids.
where it gets a little misconstrued because it's not just like a sequel to The Shining. It's Stephen King actually wrote another book.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson's in The Shining, right?
Yeah.
And he's real creepy.
Yeah.
Have you seen the picture of Ali Wong and Jack Nicholson having the same facial reaction?
No.
It's so good.
Ali Wong is probably my favorite comedian.
She's... Oh.
I mean, I'm
Seth.
fine with her. I got a little bored with her. Like, I thought she was incredible for the first, like, 2 specials she had, and then it was like, okay, you could change it up a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like I really liked her first one. And then the second one, I was like, okay, so you understand your shtick. Okay, I got you.
That's fair. I still think she's funny. I really like her.
Yeah, I like her. I like her. I like her Instagram, actually.
Oh, I need to follow that.
It's often it's often her just dance exercising and her child being like, "No, mommy, no."
You do this wrong.
Or just running and being like, "Stop."
You embarrass our family, mommy.
I like it.
Yeah. So what have you guys been up to the past like couple weeks?
Boy. Let me go.
Yeah, you go.
I had surgery, bitches.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Oh, third sinus surgery.
She has
My
face
life.
off. She's now an Asian woman. She's officially single white female me.
Oh, I was gonna go full Nicolas Cage.
Your
Face
face
off
is
to
just
Nicolas
Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is fine.
He was.
Is what?
fine?
Fine. Fine.
Oh,
He
fine.
was fine.
Why do you say
He's a little
was?
rough now.
I mean,
He's a little rough.
is
I've
he
never truly been attracted to him. I don't think.
I mean, I loved him in
National Treasure?
No,
Mummy?
City of Angels.
No, that's not
Who's the one
Mummy.
with the plane?
I retract that.
The Plane.
Oh, Con Air?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, man, what a movie.
Con Air's the
What was the
best
song
one.
from Con Air that was really big?
I don't
But or that was from Bodyguard. What was the song from Bodyguard?
Anything Whitney Houston?
Yeah, it was Whitney Houston something.
I will always love
That's
you.
All I
Oh,
could
that
think of
was it, I think.
was
Yes.
not that song, but a song you would like. I'll be a time.
Tiny Dancer. Tina Turner
Yeah.
is my god. I love
Dancer
Tina
for
Turner.
money.
Oh my god.
Do what you wanted to do.
And that's in. Well, that's not Tiny Dancer, but Tina
Yeah.
Turner does the Thunderdome. The We Don't Need Another Hero. Thunderdome is the Mad Max, like
Oh,
second Mad Max. It's really good.
Oh,
But anyway, so
good to
yes,
know.
I had sinus surgery.
How are you feeling now?
Do I sound less nasally? I don't even know anymore.
are you breathing better?
I feel like I'm breathing a little bit better.
Do you
That's
feel
great.
more
I feel like I'm
energetic?
doing less of the that I normally do in these episodes.
Do you feel like you have more energy now that you're actually getting oxygen?
I think so, but it's too soon to tell.
So Stephanie was at like 5% capacity
I
of
barely
oxygen.
wasn't
What?
breathing.
She was a zombie.
I was Duncan Sheeking my way through life.
Don't. What?
The song "Barely Breathing" by Duncan Sheik. Is this? I feel like this is
No,
at
we
least
brought
the
it.
second time I've made
You've
this
definitely
joke.
brought it up.
I need
You
to
definitely
catch up
brought
on
it
all the.
That was like the
Past
90s.
everything.
My God.
I was so
Yeah, I was
sheltered as a
basically being
child.
told I was not breathing enough or sleeping well and that I had ADD and everything else under the sun. But in actuality, I just wasn't getting enough oxygen.
Leprosy was also in there too.
There was a little bit of leprosy.
It's not a big deal. Her like right arm is falling off. Again, not a
It's
big
fine.
deal.
Mild
And her
case of
right ear is
malaria. We've
paralyzed.
gotten it figured out.
A little bit of Ebola, just like in the
Just
left
a very
ear.
minor
Just-
amount of Ebola that was really being masked by the typhoid.
And mad cow disease in your left pinky.
It was a bit of a mess.
What a crazy experience.
And then lizard tongue.
Oh, that's still there though.
Or is it
The
they?
fork tongue.
I had something like that once. It was I got a virus that attacked. I didn't tell
This
you
is
this?
real? You had a tongue
Perhaps, but
disease?
now I'm
Yeah,
terrified.
so it's not unusual, but basically I got a cold virus that hit a nerve in my tongue.
What?
It like went to attack, and all like the little, the little bumps on your tongue, they became inflated. And it can be confused with strawberry tongue, which is actually a disease where your tongue becomes red and it looks pimply like strawberry, and they can burst. Luckily, mine was just like the nerves were just like freaking the fuck out. But
That's so crazy.
I know I couldn't eat anything spicy. Definitely no alcohol.
How long did this last? And how old were you?
It happened this year.
What?
Yeah, I was in Minnesota for a wedding, and it happened there. And my good friend, he took me to the hospital because I was freaking the fuck out. I was like, Wilhelm, look at my tongue. Ah, tell me I'm beautiful. And he was like, that's real intense.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Strawberry tongue exists though?
Yeah, I didn't have strawberry tongue, but check it out. It's real weird. There's a lot of weird tongue diseases. And then I was like, oh my God, I have tongue cancer. But it's just like, it was a virus that hit the
I used
nerves
to have
in
a
my
fear
tongue.
as a kid that I would swallow my tongue and choke on it.
That's creepy.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so I'd like sometimes as a kid hold my tongue between my teeth like this, so it wouldn't like bite down on my teeth, so it wouldn't ever be swallowed. Anyway, weird. Anyway, hello everybody, welcome to episode 12.
This is what the fuck if you didn't
Yeah.
know already.
What the
Where
fuck is
am I?
happening? Yeah, so we've got some really good questions tonight. Tonight, whenever you're listening to this day.
Midday bathroom break,
Oh, yes. I would love to be a bathroom break relaxation time for people.
I mean, if you're in the bathroom for an hour,
May as well listen to
I
us.
feel like if you're in the bathroom for an hour, there's a whole different situation.
I told you guys about my experience in the bathroom that was so freaky weird.
yes.
No.
Yeah,
Yes,
I texted you.
yes.
So when I was in the
yes.
bathroom, there's a lady coming in to clean the bathroom, and she's going to change out the toilet paper in all the stalls. So there's a stall next to me that I guess like they share the same hole in the wall to like hold the toilet paper. So instead of waiting for me to come out of the stall, she pulled the wall out between the two stalls,
Right.
the little between and the toilet paper part, and like reached her hand into my stall, and I looked down in the where her hand came out, and her face was right there. I was definitely like doing everything I could do to cover up my private time in the toilet
That's a lot.
stall, whatever. It really freaked me out. I felt very abused.
They don't pay you enough for that.
They don't pay
No,
me enough for that.
absolutely
No free
not.
peep show. Anyways, we should probably get into our
get
questions.
into
Yeah,
it.
let's do it. Question 1.
So Steph, do you want to go first, or I can go first?
No, I'll
It's
go
a
first.
toss-up.
What's my
Okay.
question?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let me see if you can. Oh,
Can I read? What? Oh, yeah. What's the like weirdest thing or strangest thing that a guest has done in your house?
What's the weirdest thing a guest has done in my house?
I have an
Besides
answer,
me?
but my answer has an entire backstory.
All right, let's get to yours last to end it on that one.
Okay.
you go first.
What's the weird? I don't know what the weirdest
Okay,
thing
I
is.
can go
Oh,
first.
Okay.
You can go
No,
first.
you go first. I'm excited.
Okay, so mine was just mostly weird because I'm gonna change her name because she's a good friend of
change
mine.
names. I already have the
she
names changed in my head too.
Actually-
My friend formaldehyde.
Yeah, I'm gonna call her Samantha.
Samantha. Great.
I had a little gathering at my house a long time ago. This is when we worked at an insurance company, so you might be able to guess. And my friend came, like I was doing brunch at our apartment, and all I remember is that she was like, "Oh, you don't have like toilet paper," and I was like, oh, "Okay," so I like went to grab toilet paper for her. And then later on that night, after everyone was gone from our little like brunch potluck, I went into our bathroom, and you know the spring thing for your toilet
Yeah.
paper? It was gone. I was like, what the fuck, Samantha? Because that was the only thing. So then I called her and I was like, dude, have you seen my like toilet
The holder for
holder
the roll,
thing?
Yeah, holder.
She's like, no. And then like we couldn't find it at all. So then at the end of the week, we're like emptying out our trash, and it's in the fucking trash.
What?
And I'm like, what the hell? Like, Samantha, you were the person for sure who had the toilet paper because I gave you some. Why the fuck did you like throw away our toilet like holder
She's like,
thing?
I'm super mad that you have no toilet paper.
I know, but it was
I'm gonna hulk out in the bathroom as a thief.
it was weird though. She like was like, oh, I don't know where it is. I'm like, you know where it is, girl.
You know.
You know. I know it's you.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've accidentally flushed that springy thing on accident.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. And it was at
How'd
my
it
brother
get
and my
in there?
brother-in-law's house because I was changing the toilet paper, and it was like my bad doing it while things were flushing, and so
Oh.
that's my own fault. As soon as it happened, I was like, "Bud,
You like shoved the toilet paper on there
and
anyway.
I was like crying. This was like a month ago.
Aw.
And
So-
I'm not gonna lie about it. Like if
But why
something
would you-
happened, exactly. So I just
Exactly.
immediately yelled for my brother-in-law, like something happened. Help me.
So my story about a guest doing something weird in my place is another toilet one. I guess it seems to be the way to go. But so when I was a kid, this happened a long time ago, like ages ago, decades ago. I was a kid, and we had some people over, like my mom and dad's friends and their 2 kids over, and the kids were probably like 4 and 2, so very young, and I was maybe 5. But this happened in the winter, and all of a sudden we had this huge blizzard while they were visiting us, and because of that, we couldn't get out the front door. So they had to stay the night with us. The problem was we lived in a house with like 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, really tiny, tiny place. And the youngest kid, who was a toddler, took a bag of Sun Chips, a full bag, and tried flushing it down the toilet.
Oh,
the toilet got backed
no.
up. We
Oh,
couldn't leave the
no.
place.
Oh,
There's
no.
no toilet for like until we could get it fixed later. But we were like stuck inside of a blizzarded-in house with a backed up toilet because of Sun Chip bag.
Oh, man.
What a dick.
What a dick! What a
What
dick
an
toddler.
asshole. Actually, can I tell one more story? I just
Yeah.
remembered. You reminded me. So when I was
Was
young,
it my eyebrows that reminded you?
it's always the eyebrows. When I was younger, we played piano, and we would...
Suzuki method.
It was exactly Suzuki method.
Yeah.
So as a quick reminder, there are these books that you need to graduate on, and you like perform a little concert, whatever. And there was a young kid who was in the class, and I remember we would rotate to different people's homes or wherever to have these little concerts so that you could graduate from each book. Mm-hmm. Well, one time we hosted one of the concerts/graduations at our house. And I remember after there was a little boy who performed, very young but very talented at piano. He used the back bathroom. And then I remember my parents were like, what the fuck? Because after everyone left, they went in the bathroom. There was fucking pee on the ceiling. There was pee on the wall. It was like he didn't have control of his penis, like a genie was coming out of it, and it just had sprayed every fucking wall.
Maybe he was very respectful, not touching his little wiener, so that way he played the piano without messing it up.
Can we talk about why can men not control their fucking penises when they pee? Like, why is that a thing? Why is there always dribble on the ground when you go to the restaurant or on the rim? Like, what the fuck? You have a hand.
Assuming everybody's drunk all the time.
Really? I'm like, if I have a penis, you have a hand. Fucking hold your dick. You know what I'm saying?
All right, good advertisement to the world.
Anyways.
So I have to tell you though, I graduated from the Bastion method of pianoing.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Correct grammar.
Yes, but it's similar to the Suzuki method, but we would not go to people's houses to perform.
Okay.
Cool story, huh? Go ahead, Stephanie.
Oh my god.
Terrible
Okay, so
story.
I did not go for the weirdest. I went for just shittiest.
Okay.
I'm going to change names for
Samantha
Anonymity.
again. Go Samantha.
for anonymity.
Or Sam.
We're going to go ahead and name them Tom and Jane. I was going to
Tom
and
and Jane.
Rick and Mortar. Rick and Mortar.
Sure is. No, this is a real thing that happened to me, and it's considered by the majority of my close friends to be still one of the worst things that I've done to my life, like in my life to this day.
Okay.
So this is going to get mildly political, but let me just state really quickly that I am in no means trying to state one way or the other. I had a friend of mine, we'll call her Jane, who was dating this guy, Tom.
Uh-huh.
And this girl was a very responsible, amazing person who was on birth control. And just all of a sudden forgot a couple of times when Tom started to blow her off a little bit. And all of a sudden she forgot despite all the reminders on her phone. And okay, so anyway, so Tom was staying at my house as a guest.
Uh-huh.
And had Jane over. And surprise, they hooked up. Okay, let me do a little backtrack a little bit. So Jane had been with Tom. Jane had forgotten her birth control. Jane had to go get an abortion.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
You do you.
Yeah.
I happily went with her. Whatever you need, I am there for you.
Yeah.
As we were leaving, she said, now we'll always have this connection.
What?
And I was like, what the fuck? You
What?
goddamn serial killer. What the fuck?
Psychopath.
So after that, I was like, I don't know if I want you in my house. Tom stayed with me. Tom invited Jane over. Tom slept with Jane in my house. Even though I was like, one, don't have her over because this is a weird situation.
Yeah.
And two, you're in my house. Please don't fuck in my house. If you don't live here permanently, don't have people over.
That's the number one rule at my door.
So not only did he do that, but then he left things there.
Ew.
And asked me to drive it to his parents' house in LA.
I don't understand. Drive what? The condoms?
The rest of his stuff that he had left in my house.
Got you.
That kind of stuff.
So instead of me driving his stuff to LA, because granted, my parents lived nearby LA and like could have, but still out of the way, didn't want to. You broke my rules.
True.
I drove Tom's stuff to Jane's house with a note that said, now you'll always have this connection. Texted Jane that said, Tom's stuff's on your lawn. You might get it. You might want to get it.
Fuck.
And then
my
drove off. Basically, the weirdest, terrible thing you could do in my house is have sex there when you don't live there.
Okay, well,
Fair.
I'll
Don't
hold
fucking
myself back
do
next
that.
time.
Don't do that. I will come at you.
Did he ever receive it, or did he ever respond?
Yeah,
to
he
you?
claimed that shit got stolen, but I don't think it ever did. I think he was lying to me just to make me feel bad about a situation I didn't feel bad about.
Well, Tom can go fuck himself.
Tom could go fuck himself.
And, fuck himself in his own home.
Oh, man.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
lesson learned, because evolution happens, fucking Tom.
Oh, my God. This is so evil. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. It's all right. It's all right.
That's enough fucks for this episode, huh?
Is it?
It's never enough fucks.
It's only the first question.
Ah.
It's only the first fuck.
Of the evening. All right. Question 2. Who's up?
I think
Ashley?
it's me.
All right. Let's do this.
Okay, I have a would you rather. It's been a little while.
Okay.
Okay, so this question's sort of funky, and it just has to do with a little bit of biology, so I'll give some background. Then my question is, would you rather wrestle with a skunk,
Okay.
or would you rather wrestle with a Pycnopodia?
Oh,
A what?
Fuck
So, so I used to be super into marine biology, and I learned about this organism, Pycnopodia, which is basically one of the largest predator starfish. So they are the fastest moving starfish. Let me show a picture. They
How big
feel
are
like
they?
no.
flesh.
What?
Yeah, so I'll show a picture. This is what it looks like.
Oh, my God.
How big is
Okay.
it though?
End to end, it's like leg to leg over like a foot and a half.
Okay. What's
so
its
skunk
defense
size.
mechanism?
So what it does, it's a carnivorous starfish. Basically, they eat mussels, sea urchins, fish, and other crustaceans, potentially even crabs. So that
Okay.
they're
Whoa.
like fucking intense.
They're strong enough to break open a crab
Yeah.
shell. Yeah.
And
Can they breathe outside the water?
yes,
Shit.
I believe so.
Stephanie
That
had
ruined
weird
my entire
sharks.
tactic.
I
Now
believe
she
so,
can't
but
do it.
I'm 50-50 so that I don't have to do a retraction. And actually, I've held one before, and it's one of those, it's so evolved as a predator starfish that if it ever feels like there's a threat, and like, let's say you're holding it and one of the legs are hanging off your arm,
Yeah.
it will drop that fucking leg. It will break off
Break
that
off?
leg. It basically feels like a gelatinous, like meat flesh sack.
Oh, my God.
It'll drop the leg and keep on moving.
Okay, what is this fight for?
What
What
do
am
you-
I fighting for? Like, why am I against, what was it? What was
A
the-
skunk?
A skunk?
Would you
Like-
rather wrestle with a skunk or Pycnopodia?
Yeah, so,
So here's
what
the
am I
wrestle.
wrestling for?
What would you want to wrestle for?
I mean, I'm just assuming
Glory,
it's
obviously.
Like, is it glory?
It's glory.
Like some sort of just like, I mean, I guess there's glory or like entry into my own house. Like, I don't know what it's. Am I just
sure
like, what's the
you could
quickest
step
way
over.
to get around this? Because I feel like
So
the
here
skunk
it is.
just gonna
You're
go
in a
after
narrow
me.
hallway, either filled with water for this whatever the thing it is,
Yeah.
or in a hallway not filled with water for the skunk. But it's a narrow hallway. You've got to get to the other end.
Yes.
But you've got to like make contact with it. The hallway is that narrow.
Okay, I
to
feel
get
like
past
the
it.
better response is, or the better like question is, okay, I'm on one end of the hallway, my dog's on the other end.
Yes.
This is what's in between.
And it's
What do
going
you
to attack
do?
your dog, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I think I'm going for this weird fleshy thing
It's
because I'm not trying to
aggressive.
kill it. I'm just trying to get over it to get to my
It's
dog.
the fastest moving starfish,
I'm just trying to get over it, to
and
get
you
to my
have
dog.
to touch it. You can't just
Yeah,
step
no,
over it.
I
It's
know.
like surrounding
I know, because I'm
you.
not trying to kill it. I'm just trying to like startle it enough without getting sprayed. And the spray of a skunk can like blind you temporarily.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the slushy thing just to get to my dog.
Okay.
I mean, one of the remedies for skunk spray is taking a bath in tomato juice.
But this is like you're getting spray directly in your face.
Oh, are you for sure?
I mean, I didn't say face,
The chances
but
are
the threat
much
of the
higher.
spray is real.
It's a small hallway. The chances of you getting sprayed in the face are very real.
Listen to like things in water freak me the fuck out. It can
Of
be like a
course.
goldfish, and I'm like, ugh.
And
Get it
here's the
away.
thing. If it falls on your face and you have to rip off the Pycnopodia, the little tube feet will be stuck on your face.
Cool. But skunks
Truly.
have claws.
Huh?
Skunks have claws.
That's true, but the question is like, what tactile things can you just not handle? Like, it's squishy, it's on your fucking face, it has a,
Oh,
like,
why does your face have to be involved in all these
I
wrestling
always assume your
opportunities?
face goes first.
I mean, let's assume one of these Pycnopodia, like, monstrous starfish falls on your face and you have to rip it off your face.
I feel like that's still an easier conclusion for me to like rip this thing off my face with like bits of like a couple layers of skin going with it, as opposed to this claw dug deep under into the muscle that I'm now ripping off
While
my
spraying
face.
you.
All these animals just attacking your face, though. I don't
Because
get
you're
this.
wrestling
And
it.
I'm just going worst case scenario.
I agree. That's the best way to think about it.
Worst case scenario, fleshy thing.
Fleshy thing with 2 feet stuck on your face.
Yeah, I'd rather rip off tentacles than have claws be dug deep into the sockets and cheeks of my face.
To be clear, when you're ripping it off, if it senses a threat, it might just leave one of its feet and legs on your face. So while ripping it off, you might have leftover like starfish leg on your face. And it's not the hard starfish. This is soft, like ground beef flesh starfish.
I'm about to puke right now.
So you
gross.
can't handle like fleshy things.
No. Ooh.
So you're in the camp of
I think I'd wrestle the skunk.
you wrestle the skunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'd fit in well in San Francisco because I just smell like weed.
You
True.
do not smell like weed. Have you ever been sprayed by a skunk?
I have not, have you?
Have you been sprayed?
I
your
have been
face.
around those who have.
Really?
What?
Yes, when I used to live in the Outer Sunset, my roommate, who is still a dog walker, has her own company now, but was a dog walker then. We would take the dogs out for a walk, and several times it got sprayed by a skunk.
Oh,
and that
shit.
scent is not
So,
great.
no, I agree with you because they often get hit in this intersection by me at night by
It's-
people driving by. And it smells my whole place up so bad that I can't sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Yeah.
more than just weed. It's
Okay, you're right.
insane.
I could probably put up with some jiggly ass stuff on my face.
Could you?
Yeah, I
You'd
think I
have to
could.
touch it and rip it off.
Yeah, I'd have. Why?
So there's like
I don't understand what all the stipulations on my
well,
face.
I mean, it's an evolved carnivorous starfish. I mean, it's gonna freaking cut. If the thing is a foot and a half across, leg to leg,
Yeah.
like that would cover your full face and hair. It'd go down your neck, potentially in the upper cleavage.
You guys are so ridiculous with the face part of this wrestling.
I mean, I have no problem with texture. I love doing stuff with my hands
And putting things all over your face.
and putting things all over my face. I should probably talk to your therapist about that.
What's your answer, Ashley?
I don't. I think the skunk smell is very putrid, so I'd say I'd rather wrestle with the
Yeah.
Pycnopodia.
After I remembered that I've had to close my window before to be able to sleep, and I still couldn't sleep because the smell was so strong, I think I agree with you.
But what if you had to rip off each individual leg off your face?
I mean,
It's still fine.
And then you'd still have tube feet, so you'd have to take off the individual tube feet on your face.
what if your eyebrows look like this permanently?
I mean, if your eyebrows look like that permanently, I feel like you're looking to get into a fight.
all right. Cool.
Anyways, okay, so let's move on.
cool. That's a good question. So my question is, should come with a story, and I want to hear the story, but I'm hoping this doesn't bring up some bad memories. However, I hope it does bring up some funny memories that you guys can tell me about. So my question to you is, or more of a statement, tell me about your worst teacher.
Does it have to be a teacher, or could it just be administrative staff?
Sure, it can be someone in that vein.
I mean,
Someone at school.
I have mild bad memories of a teacher who was just unreasonable.
Tell me more.
And then I have just memories of a teacher who's inappropriate.
What?
So the teacher that was just unreasonable was a math teacher. I've always been pretty decent at math. Math was never my problem. I had a B+ in his class, and he suggested I take it over.
What? Why?
Exactly.
Which class was this?
Math. It was like
Clearly not
statistics.
English.
No, but like their level.
It was like statistics or algebra. I don't remember. It was like 8th grade.
So like classic algebra, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I had like a B+, and I like went through tutoring and all because I was getting like a B-, and God forbid.
Oh,
Ooh.
I was getting a B+, and his like at the end of the year recommendation of like where you should go nest, mine was like you should take this class again. And I was
weird.
like, for a B fucking plus.
What a jerk. So
You
what about
kidding
your
me?
inappropriate teacher?
So I had an econ teacher in high school who
Uh-huh.
was also the assistant head coach for football.
Yeah.
Younger, good looking, had a reputation for being with some of the students.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
there was a time where randomly I had one like good friend in the class. His name was Iggy. That's right, Iggy. And at one point, this teacher looked at me. He's like, "It's your birthday today, isn't it?" And I was like, "What? No?" And he was like, Oh, that's right. It's my girlfriend's birthday.
Oh.
And I was like, what?
What?
Huh?
You're like, don't even have my period
And
yet.
I was like, well, no, I was like 18, I think, at this point.
Okay,
and I was
got
like,
you.
why is
But
this?
still, same
What? And
comment.
then Iggy looks at me, and I look at Iggy with like the normal face I make now, and I'm just like, huh? Like, why?
Slow motion stroke.
Slow motion stroke. Things like that, where it's just like, when he knew most of the class wasn't paying attention because it was like a knockoff class, I guess.
Yeah.
But he would say weird things to me, and I'd be like, what? Huh. I'm not going to be the reason that, like, you end up on some sort of Dateline episode. Like,
Oh, God.
leave me alone. Yeah.
What about you, Ashley?
No, I was just thinking back to college and professors.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about college students dating professors? Have you ever dated
I had a professor who had a crush on me.
Ooh. Pray
That's
tell.
Well, so there's this professor I had in college. This is not my answer to this question, but there's a professor in college. Let's call him Mark, just for the sake of names. But Mark, I had him my freshman year for like just general, like some general ad class, whatever. So I took that, and I always felt like he was kind of like, after class, he'd be like, "Oh, hey, Patricia, did you enjoy your weekend?" But I also played soccer in college, and he would come to all the soccer games and watch us play. And after the games, he'd come over and be like, "That was a great job." Or I'm excited. I come over to me before a game and like, "I'm excited to watch you play." And it really just kind of freaked me out in a way that I couldn't explain. He never like made an advance on me. He was very kind.
Yeah.
But that freshman year, I was always like dismissive of him, like tried to stay away from him because I was weirded out. But then the next year, I had two friends join the soccer team, and so they got to know him as somebody who watched the games. They had him as a professor as well. And so he became like a favorite professor of the teams. He got to know the whole team, whatever. And this whole time I was like, okay, maybe I was overthinking this, whatever. After I graduated, my friend had him and a couple other professors over for dinner, and like some of our soccer girls over after we all graduated, just to kind of be like, hey, we enjoyed knowing you guys in college, to be nice. He was like hitting on me very obviously, and I felt so uncomfortable, but I'd told myself enough times that I was like overthinking it, that I was like, just me overthinking it, it's okay. But after he left, my friends go, he was hitting on you the whole time. That was so awkward. And I'm like, thank you for confirming like 5 years of this.
No.
And yeah.
Yeah.
He still writes to me on Facebook these days.
Weird. Let's look at that later.
Okay.
I had a similar thing with a professor. Well, there are two different professors, but two different situations.
Slut.
I really hope my
I'm
mom
just
doesn't hear this,
kidding.
but
No, if
maybe
you're
one
of
day she
age, you
will.
do you.
There was one professor who was very friendly, and he invited a few students to his house, like 3 of us to his house to have dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't for any specific reason, but he didn't become tenure, so then he decided to like leave. And I remember that summer he was like, "Hey, I'm like living in Berkeley. Do you want to grab dinner at some time?" And I was like, "That's weird." But he was interesting. But there was this other professor that I had a little, crush on.
Uh-huh.
And I remember he invited us to his house after the year was over. And we were all leaving. And I still remember this. He asked me, he's like, "Do you want me to like walk you back?" And he had a girlfriend though. And I was like, and he was in his 30s, which at the time I'm like, that seems old, but you're in your early 20s. Anything
Right,
beyond 25 seems pretty old.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's okay. And he's like, oh, it's okay. I'll like walk you back to your dorm. But he like didn't walk anyone else back.
Maybe you look the most vulnerable.
I mean, he was cute and we were friends. I felt like we were friends and he
Yeah.
was very attractive. And then we're walking and then we're just like talking about life. And then he starts talking to me about issues that he's having with his girlfriend.
Oh, no.
Oh, awkward.
And once that happened, I was like, oh no. Even though I thought he was very attractive. And I was like, I could just like walk myself back home. It's cool. Like, we're cool. Like, I'm like a block away. Like, you can go home.
Oh man.
But I'll never forget that. I had a huge crush on him though. Mostly because I was like, oh my God, you're so smart.
That brain of yours just gets me going.
I know, like totally just like working my mind, making me think of these questions. Anyways, back to your actual question, worst teacher, or administrative person.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say I've had a couple. One was when I was in high school. The librarian kicked me out of the library.
Why?
Because, okay, y'all know that I'm not a quiet person.
Oh, no, really? Tell me
like,
more.
when I laugh, I can't control my body.
It's a cackle.
It's a chortle, if you will. I actually never say that. I feel like I'm like a 50-year-old man who drinks scotch with a cigar.
What a chortle you have there.
What a chortle. Yeah, sometimes I get in trouble because I was like talkative in the library, but this time it wasn't me. And some person was just like laughing really loudly, and she's like, "You out of here!" And she kicked me out of the library.
Aww.
And I was like, "But it wasn't me. I'm working on algebra." Or like,
algebra ruins us
fucking
all.
algebra. And she kicked me out. And then I complained about her because I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. Anyways, she was not the best, and I was scared of her later.
Fair.
I had a science teacher in 6th grade. She was not very nice to me. And actually my parents had to talk to her about it because she was like sort of like targeting me a little bit. And they're like, this isn't right. And
Right. Well, yeah.
like she would like grade my quizzes like way differently. And I remember I talked to my friends and we did the same thing, but she would like subtract way more points on mine.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know why. And then after that talk, she like treated me normal.
That's good. At least she responded to that.
Yeah, but that's fucked up that she had already have an issue with me.
Maybe she didn't know that she had an issue, though.
So she just was like harder on me just because. Like I looked at like my friends in school, in elementary school, we looked at all of our quizzes together and it was like, what the hell?
Oh, okay.
Why is she
That's
coming at
weird.
you?
Well, let me tell you guys about 3 of my teachers that I've had. The first one, we called him Sexy Rexy. His name was Rex Menue. Whoa. But
Whoa.
Rex had a wife who they had in a place together like an hour and a half away from my town. So he would come and live in an apartment in my town for Monday through Friday and teach, and then drive back to his wife on the weekends. But he had a farting problem, number one, and he had an obsession with a stapler that was a stapler like he called his whale. And
It's like a Milton situation.
it was kind of weird, yeah. He kept it in his back pocket, and if anybody ever had to use a stapler, he'd be like, he had to give you permission to use it.
Ew,
But-
sounds like a weird power play situation.
I don't think it was power. I think it was just like he just had an obsession with a stapler. Anyway, first weird teacher, first bad teacher, whatever. Second one I'm gonna tell you about is I had my pre-calculus teacher in high school. Well, later on in his career, he was caught with the secretary of school, her in the press box of the football field.
Yeah.
But before
And he
then,
was married?
so he was going through divorce the year
Okay.
that I was in his class. He kept talking about things like, oh, I'm going to buy my wife a fishing boat for Christmas. Really, it was just for him. But he didn't know pre-calculus, so he would just copy the lessons from his notebook onto the board and say, you got it? Good. So we had to teach ourselves, the whole class, how to do pre-calculus because he didn't know what he was doing. Bad teachers. The last bad teacher I'm going to tell you about was my American history teacher. So there's a joke that he never graded anything. He would just say in class, like, hey, here's a worksheet you guys can work on for the week. And it would be like fill in the blank kind of thing.
Oh, my.
So stupid. He never taught in class. He's a tennis coach. And his team never lost. So it was like that kind of person.
Yep.
But for the final report or final grade for that class, we had to do a video with some friends about something in American history that we thought was important. So the guys in the class that always got A's for just doing the same work everyone else did, and we get like B's for doing the same work, same kind of thing you had, but they wanted to see and test this. So they tuned in a blank video for their project, and we did a lot of work on ours, had a lot of fun with it, did a great like experience and research with it, and we got a B on our video. The guys that turned in a blank video got an A. And so the valedictorian for my class was in that class. So their speech on at the graduation was like, he called him out and during the speech and was like, thank you for the A for the blank video that we turned in, while he gave everybody else in the class B's for their hard work, and called it out into the speech. And it was a great reference, and I'm glad that he called him out.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. Those are all my bad teachers. Besides the one that hit on me.
Yeah, I have one more.
Bring it.
I remember. I forget her name, but she was a small little woman in high school, science teacher. And I remember I went to a private high school, and it was very political. I feel like if your family had a lot of money, the teachers knew that, and the teachers knew who donated.
Yeah.
And there was like preferential treatment based upon that, and they can go suck it. I would never fucking send my children to that hellhole. And anyway, so I remember I got really sick, and I was gone for like like a week and a half. And I remember I went to the teacher and I was like, hey, is it possible for me to set up some time with you to go over some missed lessons, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, no, I'm not available. And then one of the other girls in the class whose family was a huge donator to the high school, she was gone for 2 days and she made all the time. She was like a multi-generational like high school, like all of her brothers and sisters went to that high school. And like the teacher was like, yeah, of course. I'm like,
oh, that's really sucky.
the politics of bullshit in like the private school system is very, very real.
Oh yeah.
Glad I didn't do that.
Yes.
But yeah, no teachers can be teachers. I had some good ones though, but some really bad ones on that end. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just real glad I'm out of high school now.
Yeah, true.
True
my,
that.
my brothers at their school in elementary school, they were talking about the bubonic plague. And my mom always likes to tell this story. Reba. You met Reba.
I did met Reba. Meet Reba.
Reba is my my mom. That's not her actual name for anonymity purposes. Anyway, so on my brother's like
She's still Reba to me.
on my brother's like assignment or whatever, she circled bubonic plague and said it's supposed to be bluebonic plague.
The teacher did this?
Yes. And he was like, no, that's not it. And she's like, yes, it is. Thank you, private school system, San Francisco. Lots of money for bullshit.
I did a report and a presentation in class my senior year of high school about an author from Prague, Russia.
What?
What? I didn't know I was wrong. I for my whole high school I thought Prague was in Russia, and I gave a presentation and said it out loud, and I could feel the tenseness in the room, and I was like, crap, I messed that up.
Oh man.
That's my life. I was corrected on my final report, and I now know that my family, who is from Prague, and yeah, I don't know. I just I figured this out a little bit later in life.
A proud moment for Patricia's
A
family.
proud moment for my heritage. Anyway, I think that wraps up our questions for this week. This has been a great episode. Always love talking with you ladies. We will be back with episode 14 next week.
Is it 13?
13.
Nope, episode 14, so we can catch up with the correct numbering on our episodes online.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys next week. All right, everyone take care, and follow us on Instagram, WTFAQ.podcast, and Twitter, WTFAQpod.
Or listen to us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube.
All of them at once.
All of them in concert at
I
the same
dare you.
time.
We
While
should get them
you
in
play, was it Wizard of Oz and Pink Floyd's Dark
Pink
Side of the
Floyd.
Moon?
Yes.
Moon,
Yeah.
just somewhere else. Just have it all go at once and
Yes.
just see what kind of trippy shit
I
you
dare
come
you
up
to
with.
play us on 4 different listener ways. Platforms, thank you, at one
got
time
you.
and get us all in sync. Try it.
Yeah.
All right, take care, you guys. We'll see you next
Bye,
week for
friends.
episode
Bye-bye.
14.
Bye.